I shall begin the reading of I Just Don't Know, a fragment of my Codex. Angry, frustrated, upset, afraid, vengeful, imprisoned. I am angry about how I am treated. The treatment I am angry about is that which makes the majority of what I am today. I could not bring myself to be a part of this world, the social beings I was born among. They were autonomous, and that was scary. But it wasn't their capacity to operate without my own input that frightened me. It was their capacity to interfere and subvert my desires without my consent that frightened me. Their existence was a threat to my own, and I could not allow myself to intermingle with them. This was seen by them. They saw my fear. But they did not see my intention to save myself from destruction. Instead, they saw my vulnerability, created by my intense phobia and the intention resulting from trying to keep my safety and health as a human being in balance. They attacked me, driven by their instinctive desire to prey on the vulnerable, some by intent and some by happenstance, unaware that they were passively tearing me apart. I was attacked for no reason other than being myself, being vulnerable. Exploitability is, in nature, a sin and punishable by death. I was angry with humanity, no, the world, for unjustly attempting to execute me without my understanding of what I had done wrong, without my consent. I hated them, but I was angry nonetheless. I am frustrated about why I am treated. Why am I being punished for existing as I am? And why can no one explain the reason in terms I can be content with? What is worse, there are those who choose to defy the vulnerability and exploitation of humanity and force their justice on others who want nothing to do with them. Those who defy this vulnerability and exploitation are called moral. These morals believe they are doing the right thing, helping those with vulnerabilities live fruitful lives. It seems like a wonderful thing, but do they not understand those that have no passions, no interests, and no desire to live among them as equals or beneficiaries? These morals seek to repair those who have lost their desires, interests, and social integration. There is a good and evil presently represented in our world. Evil is the natural tendency towards disorder. Once someone chooses to accelerate that process, those seeking to kill, those seeking to create loss. And good is the effort intended to balance the disorder by patching and or repairing the vulnerability presented. I was hurt, and there was no explanation. I was cared for, and there was no reasonable explanation. There is no good or evil, only two forces attempting to pull me apart and have their way with me, against my will. I hate them. They make choices without my consent, simply because they can. And they don't have to answer to me for the consequences of their actions. I felt vengeful towards them, all of them. But alas, my feelings have no weight in this world of ours. I can hate them, but all I am left with is frustration. I am upset about the duration of my treatment. I cannot escape, and I can feel no serenity in my existence among humanity or this nature of vulnerability. I attempted to submit myself to their judgment and reproval, to become their civil servant of sorts. But alas, the weight of my burdens were too great, and my satisfaction was lacking. I was born only to slowly die, imprisoned by humanity, nature, and my own body. This is why I am upset. I find myself unable to proceed down any path that may be available to me. I don't want to live, but I can't die. With instrument in hand, I really only have one option before me. While I'm still alive, regretfully so, I must clarify my anger, frustration, and my upset. Even if no one will listen, I must do this, because if I don't, all my knowledge and perspective will be wasted. I must command my instruments and make it clear who I am. It may seem strange, but even I understand the value of life and what it can offer. I understand what it is. I understand what it is like to do things for others. Not because it's the right thing to do, but because it is within your power to do so. I don't choose to waste my life. I do choose not to waste my time with people and obstacles that are impractically stubborn to overcome and control. I won't waste my life, but if someone or something chooses to waste it for me, then I will not fight back. If humanity or the world choose to consume me for lack of effort, then that is their choice. I won't fight against odds I have no reason to win, because there is no reason to live without purpose. So, here I write, angry, frustrated, upset, afraid, vengeful, imprisoned. No regrets, just words. These words, however, are not the end of things. You will learn that the end never comes for us. It continues to consume us. We continue to die to its ravishing hunger. Then, like a tainted miracle, we revive to be consumed once again. Within this cruel existence we call life, we are counseled by fantasy to find and embrace a greater existence beyond our limited one. Our minds, the gifts of the greater cosmos, are the subject of our own control within this doomed tomb of expression and freedom. We are doomed by gods that are not perfect and seek to find answers that they themselves cannot answer. And so they set their feeble children, us, to work as a think tank breeding ground. to find the answers for them. It's understandable, even clever. In hindsight, and with a fantasy-inspired imagination, I can understand their plight. In fact, my acknowledgement of their attempts to find such a solution just reinforces my sympathy for their case. I also acknowledge why I can't be rid of my self-awareness, so that I may spare myself suffering. Without self-awareness, the solution they attempt to find would be lost to the noise of the echoing, struggling cosmos. Words whose meaning is lost in an endless and fragmented written story. My purpose is to find happiness within my own selfish nature, and also, passively or actively, provide unto others as though that selfish nature were actually unselfish. A selfishness that selflessly provides to others selfishly. The original intent is to find a solution to fear, particularly the cosmopheric variant that degrades all types of systems and drains them unnaturally of their systemic energy required to function within their cosmopheric cycle. Our purpose is to find out how to systemically counterbalance this unnatural drain of energy and restore order to the cosmos. My purpose is to find a homeostasis between selfish and unselfish paradoxical parameters of the human survival. Then I must find a way to make such a homeostasis natural to the everyday existence. By solving this paradox, I may unlock a path of process required to solve the cosmopheric fear conundrum. But perhaps I cannot. This concludes my reading of I Just Don't Know, a fragment of my Codex. Forever forward we march. This is GD signing off. Until next time.